We're taking a family trip to the beach for the next few days, which explains the scenery, in case you're wondering. Anyways, in the 5 years that I've been a real estate agent, I've sold about $75 million worth of real estate. And some of the big teams, some of the big players do that every year or sometimes even 6 months. But as a solo new agent, I think that it's been a very solid start to my career. That's an average of about 18 houses a year. And I think that's a big misconception that the public has about real estate agents, that they're selling houses every week or something. But in reality, most real estate agents only sell about 12 houses a year, and I guess that number is even lower in places like Seattle with the higher price point and less inventory. My current goal is to work up to about 3 houses a month, which would allow me to hire some support staff and really run my business like a business. All that to say, I'm very proud of the business that I've built with the support of family, friends, and all of you on YouTube. But I had real misgivings when I first got licensed as a real estate agent. Am I really helping anyone? Are realtors just leeches? Is this industry just causing the housing crisis? Now, before I confuse anyone with real estate terminology, in Washington State at least, when you first get licensed, you're called a broker. Then after 3 years, you can get licensed as a managing broker. That's what I am right now, a managing broker. But most people use the words broker, agent, realtor fairly interchangeably, and I probably will too in the course of this video, so hopefully that's not too confusing. We just finished The Night House, which if you're looking for a good haunted house story, I definitely recommend it. I might not fall asleep too fast tonight. Just kidding, I sleep like a rock most nights. All real estate agents are required to hang their license with a brokerage. Think like John L. Scott, Windermere, Keller Williams. When you buy or sell a property, you actually have an agreement with that brokerage as well as the real estate agent that you're working with. When the housing market is rolling and doing really well, everybody and their mom wants to get licensed as a realtor. But truthfully, it's 80% of the business is done by probably just 20% of the brokers out there. Which brokerage those agents choose is really going to determine which brokerages succeed in the industry. For example, Compass, where I'm based, when they came into the Seattle area, they offered incentives to all of the big name brokers out there. You know, signing bonuses, really good commission splits. Even though I was just like a pretty small time player at the time, I got a great deal out of it. So just imagine what the big name brokers got. And now Compass is one of the most successful brokerages in the country because they were super strategic about trying to attract top talent. There are brokerage models out there, of course, and I'm not going to name names publicly, but they take advantage of new brokers. Brokerage leadership knows that new agents are going to know at least 1 or 2 people who want to buy or sell a house. So they bring these new people on, they suck them dry for any transactions that they're going to do in the first year, and then leave them out to dry with no mentorship or support afterwards. So that brings us to the question, what do brokerages provide for brokers? Well, the biggest thing that they do is ensure legal compliance, which is kind of a dry topic, but it is important. Beyond that, though, it really varies. Some offer training and continuing education. Some offer technology like a CRM. Compass offers really good technology for me that makes my job a lot easier, which is most of the main reason that I'm there. Many brokerages will tell you that they offer kind of a brand cachet, and you know, as a broker, you can latch onto that, use it to your advantage. But really, in my opinion, this couldn't be further from the truth because it's really your own brand and your own connections that are going to determine if you do well in the real estate industry. When you meet a client, they don't really know or care what brokerage you're part of. They are more interested in you and how you do business and the image that you project to the world. Of course, everything a brokerage offers comes at a price, and that's where things get pretty confusing and convoluted because it's pretty much different for every realtor out there. So brokerages play a big role in things for sure, but in reality, it's more like the Wild West, where each individual broker is building their own business, building their own brand, and trying to make it on their own for the most part. And if you don't get that yet, then you're probably not going to last long in this business. And most don't, because 87% of realtors end up quitting after their first 2 years. And this is how you do vacation. You got some TV going, and making some lunch. What's for lunch, Kendall?
Blood cheese, tomato soup.
Yum. We're staying at a house that Kendall's family has owned for a long time.
Hi, AHIS. Welcome to my beach house. This is a very funny hodgepodge of 1990s construction mixed with grandma's old furniture, mixed with small modern updates since it's recently been listed on Airbnb. This, I think, is supposed to be the formal dining room, but we've turned it into just a office-y sitting room. Kitchen, it actually has a really nice open floor plan here for, the family hanging out, but when I was growing up, we came here and there was there was a TV, but there was no internet or really any modern amenities because that's how my parents and grandparents liked it. But now that it's listed on Airbnb, fortunately, we at least have internet. And we're not on the beach or anything like that, but there is a really nice view of hills and sky, and you can actually hear the ocean from here.
So how do real estate agents get paid? Well, I get paid on a percentage of a home sales. So I only get paid if I successfully help somebody buy or sell a house. And I think this happens with all real estate agents out there. I've worked with a couple people who, we get the ball rolling and then halfway through the process, they ghost me and I never hear from them again, which does kind of suck because it's a lot of wasted time that goes unpaid, but I think it's the nature of the business. So that percentage it's different with every transaction. It's negotiable, and we will talk a little bit about a lawsuit that happened recently all about commissions. But my average commission has gone down from an average of about 2.9% in 2019 to 2.65% in 2023. Typically, the seller pays their realtor a percentage of the sales price, and then that commission is split between both the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So a seller might agree to 6% total, and then that's split between both agents 3 and 3, or I've seen some complicated transactions where the listing agent will take 4 and the buyer's agent will take 2.5. It varies a lot. There's a lot of costs that come out of this percentage, though. It's not like we're out here making $30K off of every $1 million transaction. I'll just use myself as an example. First, I have a commission split with my brokerage, which does change based on how many people I help every year, or as they call it, the sales volume, but it sounds a little bit icky. Then I have a resource fee, which is just a flat fee, more commonly referred to as a desk fee. For me, at least, these combined fees have fluctuated over the past years from anywhere between 10% and 30%. Then there's insurance and city and state fees, then personal taxes. I'm also responsible for all of my marketing expenses. I mean, clients don't just magically appear. Some agents spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars each month just on marketing and lead generation. Okay, so you might have heard about this lawsuit recently that awarded $1.8 billion to homeowners in the Midwest from the NAR, or the National Association of Realtors. The NAR was accused of antitrust violations, and basically the lawsuit said that the NAR and local brokerages in the area were conspiring to set commission rates, which, according to these antitrust laws, are supposed to be negotiable at all times. But what this lawsuit isn't really addressing is that, in a roundabout kind of way, buyers are paying realtor commissions because the funds that they use to buy the house then just go to the realtors representing both parties. So anyways, it is a little bit convoluted, but I do think that it's a much better system than what a lot of the rest of the world has, because both parties are getting really good representation in this really large transaction. Anyways, the short answer is if you work with me as a seller, then all agent commissions come out of your end of the transaction. And if you're working with me as a buyer, there's no cash up front to have me represent you. What is false ego? I thought that sounded like a good title for this section. Well, false ego refers to a distorted sense of identity based on external materialistic factors. False ego arises when an individual identifies himself exclusively with their material possessions, social status, achievements, or external appearances, instead of recognizing the deeper intrinsic aspects of their true self. Individuals with a false ego place undue importance on superficial and temporary aspects of life. Yes, that is real estate agents. And it's no surprise that this industry is so obsessed with materialism. For a long time now, a real estate agent's success was measured by their car, their clothes, and handbags. I mean, realtors on TikTok can't think of anything better to brag about except for how much money they make. And look at us, lounging by the beach while making YouTube videos. Sheesh. I'm so skeptical of all these realtors on social media bragging about the amount of real estate they sold. This is a hard job to make a living in. It's easy to inflate your numbers or make it sound like you're working with a lot more clients than you actually are. The average realtor in the US makes something like $45,000 a year. So even if these people are selling as much real estate as they say they are, there's a good chance that a lot of that income is going right back out to their lead generation and marketing strategies. So what's the takeaway, and how do I backpedal this whole thing and say that you should hire me? Well, I really do think that a good real estate agent is important to your personal finances and your general home well-being. We can't all be experts in every area, and life is all about building a team and a community of folks around you who can help in various aspects of your life. I have an accountant, a personal advisor, an insurance broker, a pastor. Real estate contracts can be something like 25, 30 pages long on the low end, and you need to have somebody around you to educate you and explain what the heck is going on. Not only do I make sure that my clients don't get screwed over, but I help educate them on all things home, construction, and if I don't know something, it's my job to bring in somebody who does, like the attorneys, the home inspectors. So if you're thinking about making a home in Seattle, send me a message and let's work together. Bye.